Hi friends and dear students, welcome back to my YouTube channel SS Pediatrics. In my today's lecture, I am going to ask you some multiple choice questions of child health nursing, that is regarding fluid and electrolytes. So let's start with the questions. Start with the first question. Question number 1. Total body water, that is TBW, as a percentage of body weight varies with age. Which of the following is true regarding TBW, that is total body water? Option A. TBW is about 60% of birth weight for a term infant. Premature infants have a higher TBW content than term infants. During the first year of life, TBW decreases to about 50% of body weight. By the end of puberty, TBW in males is 50% of body weight. So the right answer is option B. Next, question number 2. The most abundant cation in the intracellular fluid is sodium, chloride, potassium and phosphate. So the right answer is option C, that is potassium. Next, question number 3. Proper cell functioning requires close regulation of plasma osmolality and intravascular volume. Which of the following statements is true? Maintenance of a normal osmolality depends on regulation of sodium balance. Control of volume status depends on regulation of potassium balance. A small increase in the plasma osmolality stimulates thirst. The secretion of antidiuretic hormone decreases with increasing plasma osmolality. So the right answer is option C. A small increase in the plasma osmolality stimulates thirst. Next, question number 4. Maintenance fluids are composed of a solution of water, glucose, sodium, potassium and chloride. How much of the normal caloric needs of the patient is provided by glucose in maintenance fluids? Option A 5%, 10%, 15%, 20%. So the right answer is option D, that is 20%. Next, question number 5. Volume depletion without renal insufficiency may cause a disproportionate increase in the burn with little or no change in the creatinine concentration. This increase in the burn may be absent or blunted in a child with iron deficiency anemia, growth failure, poor protein intake, gastrointestinal bleed. So the right answer is option C, that is poor protein intake. Next, question number 6. Which of the following findings is considered abnormal on urinalysis of a patient with dehydration? Option A, hyaline casts, granular casts, few white blood cells, proteinuria of 150 mg per deciliter. So the right answer is option D, that is proteinuria of 150 mg per deciliter. Next, question number 7. Rapid correction of hyponatremia should be avoided because of the remote risk of central pontine myelinolysis, B. cerebral edema, then brain herniation and acute tubular necrosis. So the right answer is option A. Next, question number 8. The most common indication for long-term parenteral nutrition is short bowel syndrome, intractable diarrhea syndrome, intestinal pseudo obstruction, inflammatory bowel disease? The right answer is option A. Next, question number 9. The most concerning complication of long-term parenteral nutrition is? Option A, nutritional deficiencies, then cholestatic liver disease, hyperglycemia, and azotemia. So the right answer is option B. Next, question number 10. Pseudo-hyponatremia is a laboratory artifact that is present when the plasma contains high concentration of potassium, zinc, protein, and option D is ascorbic acid. So the right answer is C, that is protein. Next, question number 11. Classification of true hyponatremia is based on the patient's conscious level, volume status, renal function, and serum osmolality. So the right answer is option B, that is volume status. Next, question number 12. Hyponatremia with high osmolality occurs in hyperglycemia, SIADH, glucocorticoid deficiency, hypothyroidism. So the answer is option A, hyperglycemia. Question number 13. Which of the following conditions leads to euvolemic hyponatremia? Option A, congestive heart failure, cirrhosis, nephrotic syndrome, water intoxication. The right answer is option D, water intoxication. Next, question number 14. Hypokalemia is common in children, with most cases related to gastroenteritis, low intake, renal losses, anorexia nervosa. So the right answer is option A, gastroenteritis. Next, question number 15. A specific sign of severe dehydration is dry mucous membrane, oliguria, reduced and mottled cutaneous perfusion, thirsty. So the right answer is option C, reduced and mottled cutaneous perfusion. Next, question number 16. Oral rehydration therapy can be used to treat dehydration in patients with oliguria, uncontrollable vomiting, inability to drink, and option D, gastric or intestinal distension. So the right answer is option A, oliguria. Next, question number 17. In treatment of hyperkalemia, which measure removes potassium from the body? Option A, sodium bicarbonate administration, loop diuretic, insulin and glucose, and IV calcium. So the right answer is option B, loop diuretic. Next, question number 18. Which of the following is a cause of metabolic acidosis with normal anion gap? Option A, lactic acidosis, B, diarrhea, C, ketoacidosis, and D, kidney failure. So the right answer is option B, that is diarrhea. Next, question number 19. Electrocardiographic changes of flattened T wave, depressed ST segment, and appearance of U wave is seen in A, hyperkalemia, hyponatremia, hypomagnesemia, and option D, hypokalemia. So the right answer is option D, that is hypokalemia. Next, question number 20. The combination of hypokalemia and metabolic acidosis is characteristic of option A, distal renal tubular acidosis, option B, gastric losses, C, aldosterone excess, and D. Diuretics. The right answer is option A, that is distal renal tubular acidosis. So this is all about my today's topic. अगर आपको वीडियो अच्छा लगा हो, कंटेंट अच्छा लगा हो, then please like the video, subscribe my channel and don't forget to press the bell icon. Thank you.